Welcome, everyone, once again to another Dota 2 World League Tournament cast. This is going to be cast by myself, Draskyl, and joining me once again, as always, is Snoopy from Absolute Legends. How you doing, buddy?
Good, thanks. Bit tired after a long practice session.
Big practice sessions. You guys were up at like 6 in the morning, weren't you? That's pretty insane.
3 o'clock.
Oh my god, how do you do that? I would actually die if I woke up that early. Actually, that's a lie because I'm going to be waking up at like midnight to play Diablo 3, so I think most people are going to be doing that.
Yeah, it's gonna be up in what, 2 hours, I believe, was it?
Oh no, it's way longer than that, pretty sure. For me, it doesn't open until midnight, so 9 hours for me. Well, a little less than 9 hours.
Oh, yeah.
And then I'm
So have
gonna...
you got the game already?
Oh, hell yeah, I got the game already. Pre-downloaded that.
Uh,
I downloaded that and I was like...
I wish I could play, but I just can't find the time for it, man.
Yeah, I guess being on a competitive team kind of makes it so you can't actually do things that you want to do in your free time. Otherwise, you fall behind, so that's unfortunate.
Well, hopefully something will come along the way.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, I
You
might
guys have been
play a
doing
little
good,
bit.
though, right? I mean,
Uh, we've been winning here and there, but also been losing against some Chinese teams, mainly Asian teams at the moment. We haven't played any NA European tourneys as of late, just IGMM.
isn't it a lot of server discrepancy for Europeans, too? Isn't it like a huge difference comparative to like playing on Singapore servers? Isn't that what you do if you play Chinese teams?
Not no. When we play Chinese teams, we were playing them on Singapore
Right,
server.
that's what I said.
Yeah, but it's roughly about the same ping for us. Like, we have it hard, but we don't mind. We just got to do what we got to do to keep ourselves in the game.
You guys got this. I have faith in you. I even read the interview from Mizuka where it said we have to go to Seattle a month in advance just to get used to not lagging. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, because none of us have touched LAN for quite a while. Back then, we used to LAN a lot because we had our own server boxes that we could practice on with like 0 ping or 10 ping or whatever. But now, because we don't have a dedicated server for the oceanic servers, it's kind of hard. I could say it's kind of hard getting used to, but it shouldn't take that long of a time because we did have LAN experience for about 4 or 5 years, so I don't think it will play a big part.
Yeah, once you have a little bit of land experience, even if it's been a while, I figure it's got to be that riding a bike kind of factor. Once you do it, you'll be able to do it again pretty easily. Just going to take a little bit of an adjustment. And only waiting on one person to get in the game. Apparently, every time there's a North American team versus another North American team, every single person in North America has the password to the game. Not really sure how that happens. We had that on the best of 3 between VP and Dare, too. It's like every single person had that game's password. We had to rehost like 4 different times just so we could start.
I think it's just between friends.
Oh, yeah, I
when,
know.
One friend gives the password, then it just gets passed along over and over again.
Yeah, I have a
Everyone
lot
wants
of
to watch the
abandons,
game in
but
person instead of the VOD, I guess.
yeah, I'm looking at the chat. Somebody said I have a lot of abandons. I have almost 1,000 games played in this account, bro. Calm down. 21 comparative to 900 plus games is not that many.
Yeah, that's only what? 2%?
Yeah, it's pretty low.
Have you played at that?
And a lot of those were actually DCs back when the game was broken and I would randomly crash all the time and not be able to get back in. I think probably about half of them were from that.
Yeah, good old days.
God, man, it was really bad at one point. And then you had the games where it was like, it took you 20 minutes to get in, and then when you got in, you were against people like Dendy, and since I hadn't played at all, I just got absolutely smashed, so it was like a lose-lose. If I got into the game, I lost anyway, but if I was actually doing well, I crashed. It's pretty much the way of things in the early beta.
Yeah, the early beta stages, there was only, what, around about 40 to 60 of us playing during that time?
Yeah, I got in like right after the international, I think like a day or two afterwards.
I got in like I think a month and a half after the international,
Dang.
and there was still like 100 people playing only during that time.
Yeah, it went from like less than 200 people for a very long time to a couple thousand, and now there's like upwards of 50,000 on.
Yeah, I think it averages out around about 33,000 daily news now, and at its highest peak, I don't think it's reached 50,000 yet. I think it's around about 48.
Yeah, I've seen it at 48 or 49, things like that. What else? What
Let's talk
else?
about the two invites that came out. IG
IG?
and
Yeah,
Complexity.
IG.
Yeah.
I don't know about IG, I'll be honest. Like, I mean, I understand one of the requirements is having a stable roster, which I do agree that IG is stable, but how much time have they really put into the game?
Uh, I could say over the past 3 weeks, they probably put in more practice than any other team out there right now. So they're giving it a crack. Apparently eHome, EG, and DK, they're actually practicing scrims for 12 hours a day now.
Holy God.
So warning to other teams out there, watch out for China.
12 hours a day, dude? That is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that IG was an amazing team in Warcraft 3 Dota, without a doubt. They were one of the best, and I think still are, pretty sure.
hmm
And coming over to Dota 2, I'm sure they're going to be amazing over time, but it's just how much are they going to have to prepare against the other teams who've been playing on this engine for months on end? It's still,
I
honestly, putting them at a slight disadvantage, I would have to say.
I think the disadvantage wouldn't be that far apart once they get used to it.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, you're going to
Um,
have adjustment period for sure.
there's going to be about 5 to 10 more heroes, and I think that's going to play its part into the Chinese team's hands. Because when the hero pool got overly crowded, China just knew how to abuse it in a
Right.
way to dominate the scene in Dota 1. As for now, I still think it's still in the European um, realm of dominance because the hero pool is very limited, and with the limited pool, it just comes down to who plays the better style, you know,
Yeah.
where nothing's really refined to the point where it comes where let's say where the refined strategies would just work out regardless of the situation.
Hmm.
And I think it helps because you know you see some lineups they don't even run the Dota 1 mech pipe drums, you know, where you get all the auras and stuff like that um, work sometimes at the moment.
Well, I
Like
saw... Oh, sorry, keep going.
yeah, like with all those items for the meta in Dota 1, it's really huge, but in Dota 2, I don't think it's that significant, but yeah, it does still play its part, depending on the lineup. But some lineups, you can't even get it at a relatively quick pace, so it's not as effective, and it kind of falls out if you get it too late. You rather get it really early instead of really late when you go that type of small effective items.
Yeah. I don't know. I saw the other day, like for the monthly Madness cast when we did Dare versus VP. VP picked a team that, on paper, I thought was just going to get completely mowed down by another team, like you said, who gets the early mech, the early pipe, and just mows towers down. And they eventually did lose the game, but it was a lot closer than I thought it should have been. Mainly because they picked heroes like Bane and they went for a super aggression, like heavy gank strategy to just try to keep them down before they could get any momentum going. And it honestly almost worked. And their start wasn't even that good. I mean, they got first blood, but then after that, it was kind of like the roamers didn't accomplish a whole lot. So I think there's still room for that kind of thing in Dota 2. I gotta go on offline mode. Oh, people spam. Grant, I love you, but not now, buddy. Let's see. Bam. Okay, sorry about that. So we're just waiting for the 5th from EG, which I guess is going to be Beta's ringing. They don't actually have 5 right now.
Yeah,
Milk is
Milk's
still
coming
MIA.
back. Milk is coming back in about 2 days, actually. 1 or 2 days. He should be back. So they'll be practicing from then as a team.
Yeah, that'll definitely be good. What do you think the next couple of invites are going to be, actually? I'm a bit curious as to what your thoughts are on that, because of the teams that were invited, there's not too many left that I can think off the top of my head that are stable and are performing very well.
They have a high interest in the Chinese scene, so I'm thinking it's either going to be eHome or who was the other team? Tyloo? Maybe. I don't know if Tyloo's playing it. Or is it Tongfu? Let me check. Can't remember.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure myself. They had the first international invite, I know that. They didn't really do too hot.
Yeah, Tongfu. They're playing Dota2 at the moment.
Okay.
And so is World Elite. But I think they have a high interest in eHome. Because they did participate last year as well. But as for the next, I would think maybe CLG, because they had a consistent roster and they've been around for a while.
Yeah, they definitely haven't had too much of switching up, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And the results are pretty consistent, I would say.
Beg your pardon?
I'm sorry? I didn't understand a word you just said.
I beg your pardon.
Oh, yeah, I said their results are consistent, like they always perform pretty well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they've been playing well. They're one of the top European teams at the moment.
Well, Betas
To
needs to
look
get
out
home
for.
faster, by the way. I'm ready to cast some Dota, buddy. I want to see this game.
I'm gonna go grab a drink really quick.
All right, no problem, man. Take your time.
All right.
By the way, if anybody in chat has questions or anything, feel free to ask either Snoopy or myself. We're just waiting for Betas to get back. What's password? PM me, please. Okay, I gotta find you on my... Oh, God, I forgot it completely mashes your friends list when you're in offline mode. It's gonna take me an hour to find you. Never mind, it's in alphabetical order. Here we go. Send message, drag it off the screen. Okay, I can't actually drag it off the screen because Steam is really good. I'll just send it to you on, I'll send it to your Twitch, Joe.
Sorry about that. I'm back.
No problem, dude. I am sending somebody a password. How the heck? Okay, here we go. Okay, you should have it. And yes, Primark 359, this is Draskyl's stream. We're going to be casting Quantic versus EG here as soon as Betas gets home. Hopefully in the next couple of minutes. My Steam is being very annoying. Somebody has a question for you in chat. It says, what place are you planning to reach in the International 2? I don't really know if that's a great question. I think everybody's going for number 1.
Yeah, everyone wants to come first for that, regardless. It's hard to predict because it's going to be a rough tourney.
Everyone's honestly getting so much better over the last couple of months.
Like the group stages could make or break any team. Like, because they are BO1s. It's too hard to predict. So, you know, even Na'Vi can get knocked out, to be honest, depending on the group.
Yeah, I mean, we saw them lose a couple of games the other day, back-to-back to, I think it was DTS and Dare.
Yep.
They lost to 2 Death Prophets in a row. That was pretty... I was honestly kind of surprised. I mean, Death Prophet's always been a pretty good hero, but just under the radar for the most part in the Dota 2 beta. Not really any team has run her at all until recently.
I think just the Russian teams play it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Other teams, they tried it, and it doesn't work out, eh?
Well, I mean, they made it work against one of pretty much the best team, I guess you could say still.
Hmm.
Also, I don't know if I can delay the stream. I don't have Partner Korok. I would like to, but I don't have any delay software, and I don't have Partner, so I cannot delay the stream. Hopefully I can get that at some point so I can actually put a delay on the stream, because I don't like casting in real time. I do like casting, but there is always the opportunity of ghosting, and we obviously don't want that in tournament match setting. But
Are
unfortunately,
they actually
can't do
using
anything.
Tides of Time?
Are they going to use tides?
I don't know, by the looks of it.
Okay, well, they're going to use tides. They are going to use them, so we're going to go ahead and get right into the game. And once again, this is going to be Quantic taking on EG for the Prodota2 World League Tournament. This is the American Pro League bracket of that specific tournament. I am Draskyl, and Snoopy is going to be cowcasting with me today. Thank you very much again for being here, making my life a whole lot easier, not having to babble for like anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour straight without breathing.
Yeah, well, we'll see if it's gonna be an action-packed game. Because if it is, you're gonna be the one that's talking a lot. Like
Well, I'm
last
okay
time.
with that. It's just those games where, the action kind of dies down, and you can only theorycraft and analyze so much before you kind of have to repeat yourself at some point. So I'm hoping for a high-paced game, definitely. I mean, Quantic versus Pot and Bottom, that was a very fast-paced game. Sam and I casted that, and I don't know if you saw it, but it was kind of a slaughter. Hopefully Quantic can kind of get back in their form today and show how good of a team that they really are, because they've been on a tear recently. And we're going to start off the bans here real quick. Just Invoker, but go ahead, man.
Yeah, they've been on a huge win streak. Quantic.
I think they're one of those teams who really just found their stride early. Like, they know what every single one of their players is good at, and they mesh well as a team and just play super aggressive all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like to watch it, too. It's very, very fun. They never pick like a pure push lineup, I would say, but they always incorporate a carry in their team that still has the potential to split push if absolute need be and is viable in the early to mid game. So I think that their strategy is just trying to... I mean, you could almost say it's playing it safe, but not really, just because of how they run it. But I definitely like the style that they play and pick so far. And Chen is also going to be the second ban here. Things going a bit slow. And by the way, guys, this is a best of one, so this will be the only match today. We had a match EG taking on, I don't even know how to say it. I'm just going to say LZH Gaming, because I have no idea how to pronounce it. But that team, unfortunately, disbanded for those of you who do not know, so that team no longer exists. And I'm fairly certain there was a reschedule as well, so I'm pretty sure this is the only match for the Prodota2 tournament today. Lycan is also not going to be seeing this game, banned out by Quantic. And I don't really think anything here is surprising anyone in the chat, especially. Like, these bans so far are pretty standard. But I also don't think that Americans ban out Brewmaster that much. Like, North American teams don't really favor him as heavily as maybe European teams do. And I think that's a bit interesting. I still feel like he's very, very strong in all stages of the game. I know you and I talked quite a bit about it a couple of days ago, and you feel that he's personally first pick or ban material almost every game.
Yeah, it's just because you can run him in the dual lane or solo, and he's just effective all round, regardless. And it's hard to kill once he hits level 6 as well, and he can turn a fight really quickly on those small skirmishes especially.
Yeah, I just feel like there's never really a point in the game. Oh, okay, so he is going to ban Brewmaster, so making me eat my words. Thanks, Josh. Appreciate it. But no, what I was going to say is, even at the end point of the game, if you don't necessarily go hard carry items, which you would never really do on a Brewmaster anyway, the passive still kind of helps you translate into late game, and you're not just completely falling off like some other heroes do. So I feel like he's never really that weak. He's always a threat, and I think that's why he's just so good.
Yeah.
Just waiting on the last ban here, too.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting game by the looks of it.
Yeah, Enigma ban, too.
Because the pool is just wide open nowadays.
Yeah, the Enigma ban and the Darkseer ban, so a little bit strange, honestly. I haven't seen EG play too much recently, and that does leave Furion open, which is going to be the first pick here from Quantic. But that also leaves a lot of higher-tier heroes out for EG, and I think that Demon might have been going for that, just assuming that they would give away the Nature's Prophet and take 2. I mean, there's still a lot of heroes in the pool that are pretty dangerous to deal with. Even things like Lone Druid 2, which can be considered a bit of a risk, but we will have to see what they choose to go with here. And yeah, good call on Americans not banning Brewmaster. I know. I just put my foot in my mouth right there. It felt pretty good. So what do you think they could possibly react here with? I mean, after seeing a Nature's Prophet first pick, a lot of the time that's partnered with something like a tri-lane and a very aggressive style coming out from Quantic too, that I feel like that's what they would do, and just abuse the fact that Nature's Prophet has that early game map presence to just dominate a lane completely.
Mhm.
Wow, and Beastmaster Leshrac going to be the answer right there. So I don't know if Beastmaster is valued that highly by EG that they're just going to take it now, but do you feel like it was worth taking him this early?
I think they're taking the equation out of just having Beastmaster. Uh, like if he was soloing mid and a Furion was soloing another lane, like when the Beastmaster, even at level 4, he can only they can gank with just an extra hero and Furion TPing in.
Right.
But that applies with a lot of heroes. But he's good against Furion. Like if he was mid, the trees, he can just axe them down and escape from the gank, I guess. And it's hard to take down with Stout Shield, especially in mid.
Yeah, he's got one of the highest base armors for his strength hero, if I recall correctly, and very good base HP gain. So we're going to see Windrunner and Morphling coming out from Quantic. Not really a surprise in either of those picks necessarily. Morphling especially, that is a go-to hero for Korok. He plays Morphling, Priestess, Tiny, and Riki, I believe, are the 4 that he is really known for playing at a high level. So nothing really too surprising so far. I think the Beastmaster was the most, I guess you could say, unconventional pick, but even that's not really too strange. And Leshrac also taken 2 by EG here, so looking pretty solid for lanes, still wide open for both teams. I think Quantic is probably going to be looking at a tri-lane for sure now. But if they do that, that would mean Windrunner was going to be supporting, so maybe not.
No, they can aggressive tri lane or safe tri lane still. They do have 2 suicide heroes with Furion and Windrunner. They have the options to do whatever they want still as their last 2 picks.
All right, well, we're going to go ahead and see what they decide to take for the first pick phase here. They still got one more to go. And they are definitely taking their time. I'm sure they are talking about it as a team because I know that Demon doesn't usually draft by himself. I think it's typically Fear who does all the drafting, and they're going to go with AA. So right now they definitely have a pretty solid combination between the Beastmaster and Ancient Apparition Ultimate, which is also now a counter to Morphling. Apparently yesterday I was informed that they finally fixed the Morph not actually healing you through the Ancient Apparition Ultimate, which is definitely good. So you actually die faster now if you try to Morph in it. And we saw that effectiveness in the pot and bottom versus Quantic match, and it was pretty ugly beating, if anybody hasn't seen that game. So now, second ban phase coming out, and Night Stalker will not be seen at all this game. Going to go ahead and take out CM. You know, that's the first time where I've actually seen CM banned when the other team has a Morphling. And they have, like, the first pick coming out of the second ban phase. I, like, never see that. Teams always give away to CM afterward. I think that EG just knows Quantic's playstyle too well. They're not going to take the risk of giving him the CM Morphling combination.
Well, considering what they picked up, I think majority of teams would ban 2 supports here as EG because they haven't picked up any supports at all. So, they would either ban... So, Quantic will ban heroes that will be effective either early or late game, They wouldn't ban out supports. It wouldn't make sense if you ban out supports here.
Yeah, looking at their lineup, it makes plenty of sense, at least Quantic's side. So that would be a perfect reasoning behind banning that CM. And now Venge is still in the pool. You have Witch Doctor too. Not really seen as often, but still can be viable in some situations. Enchantress still kind of in the pool too, which kind of doesn't really see a whole lot of play recently. I mean, I think Europeans still like to run Enchantress a lot, but for North Americans, not really so much, I would say. And usually when we do, it's like an aggressive tri-lane kind of play.
I think there's only around about 2 teams that would actually run Enchantress from the American scene.
Yeah.
Quantic do play Enchantress here and there. Same with Complexity. But I think the team that they versed last week, they also play Enchantress. They rate it higher than any other team.
I
So
s-
actually, yeah. So there's 3 teams.
yeah, I think Enchantress is still really powerful in a lot of situations. Maybe not necessarily in this game for either team, but just something interesting because as the game progresses and more heroes get into the pool, like you said, it becomes oversaturated. The styles of teams are really going to come into play, where you're going to find teams like Quantic who always play aggressive, and then you're going to have other teams who really play a defensive game, or maybe even like a Chinese type strategy and just go for pure lane control. So it's going to be really fun to see how that works out. And of course, again, I say no one picks Enchantress, and they pick Enchantress. I quit, man. I'm done. I think they're actually just listening to the cast and picking heroes that I say they're not going to pick. I'm on to
Just
you,
to troll
Josh.
you.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious that they're listening to this. But
So,
Enchantress is a really good counter to Morphling in itself, so maybe they were just looking to take it away from EG, because they still could technically run it, I guess. I mean, Impetus is pure damage and owns Morphling pretty badly, so. And also Tidehunter not picked either. That's definitely a little bit strange.
AM as well.
Yeah, and
Okay,
wow,
so
Void. Okay, so they're
wait.
going for like the don't ever miss your AA ultimate with the Beastmaster Roar and the Chronosphere coming out from Faceless Void. It's going to be really easy for that A to line it up. And I would think after that pick that A is going to be going mid. If they're going to be banking on this AA being able to have a high level of ult, and if it outscales the other team, it's just really difficult to deal with. I mean, if you look at Quantic's lineup, not any of them are really that tanky aside from the Morphling if he's morphing stats, but again, they changed that, so it doesn't even do anything versus the Ice Blast. And probably just a Beastmaster with a Leshrac support and a Faceless Void, maybe looking at a tri-lane top for EG, or even an aggressive one if they really wanted to.
I think they're gonna put the AA as support.
You think so?
Hmm
I haven't seen Void, since the International. Have you seen anybody play Void since then? I think CLG
Uh,
played Void, or it was Pycat, right? In the International who played him. What team was he on? Was he still on CLG for that?
yeah, he was CLG.
Okay.
And actually, for which tournament was this?
The International, the first one.
Ah,
I don't remember if it was
I don't
still
remember.
CLG or not. Maybe somebody in the
CLG
chat
didn't
knows.
participate in that.
So Vengeful Spirit also going to be taken here last by Quantic. So now they have a dedicated support role for sure. Okay, it was Nirvana Int. Thank you. Like 3 people just answered. All right, just waiting on the last pick out of EG, and the game will get started here. And it's going to be a Broodmother. I think that's a pretty decent pick, honestly. I
That's
mean,
a nice pickup right now. Because either one's going to get farmed up, but I think their initial plan was to shut down the Faceless, but now they have to deal with Brood as well. And they don't have much to stop him in the suicide lane.
right. I mean, they have 2 heroes basically with spam, and they're not going to be laning together. Venge doesn't really add anything against a Brood at all, and if it was anything like the last time I've seen Quantic play against a Brood, they're going to buy Sentries at level 1. That's kind of what sealed the deal versus pot and bottom. That and Earthshaker ganks.
Yeah, but this game, I think they can hold well against Brood because Furin can just carry the dust to gank.
5 seconds
Right.
remaining.
Sorry, guys, just making sure my camera settings aren't super fast. Go ahead.
Whereas for the last game they played against Brood, they had to get heroes to walk up. There was nothing like really to like even blink in to catch the Brood off guard.
Yeah.
But I still think it's definitely a good pickup still by AG.
It's going to be a lot more threatening in this lineup because of the fact they do have so little spam. I mean, Furion can kind of kill Spiderlings, and you have Waveform and Power Shot, but that's pretty much it. And I feel like this Brood's just going to be able to sit in a lane whenever she wants and just kind of force people out. And then you have A ultimates too. And Demon's going to be playing AA this particular game. Also, we'll go over the players really, really quickly here for EG. Tides of Time is going to be ringing for this game because Melk is not back yet, so he's going to be playing Leshrac. Universe is going to play Beastmaster. Fear will be playing the carry role, Faceless Void. Bulba is going to be on Broodmother, and finally Demon, as I've already said, will be playing Ancient Apparition. Then for Quantic side, we have Solara going to be playing Nature's Prophet, Last Hit Magic on Enchantress. Mikey going to be playing Vengeful Spirit. Painted Gold on Windrunner, and Korok on Morphling. So looking at the Windrunner being played by Josh, I'm assuming that's going to be a mid-Windrunner. And then they're going to have the Vengeful Spirit with Morphling and Enchantress bottom lane, I would assume. Unless they want to send Fury on there to be extra safe. But if they send Brood bottom, it's going to be really bad if it's just a Furion down there.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like a guessing game, I guess. Like, not really a guessing game. But, you know, the other team can send Brood top.
Yeah.
If they think Furion is suiciding. But it's not going to pay off for them. Because you don't really have the whole jungle to yourself during that time.
Right.
Whereas for bottom, once you get that tower, you have the jungle plus your lane.
Yep, that is definitely one thing to take into consideration when you have a Brood on your team. Also, I mean, they could honestly 2-on-2 if they really wanted to, just to have the support AA get quick levels. We've seen that before in the past where you just send the Spiderlings to the jungle and have a support there and just get quick levels. It's really, really good with heroes like AA2. Faster you get the ultimate, more lane control you're going to have. And plus they have Beastmaster and things like Void to set up ultimates to help him land his own. So I think they got a really nice synergy going on here. I'm interested to see if they can actually utilize it to its full potential. And who the heck are we waiting on, by the way? Do you know? Oh, Fear's AFK. All right, there we go. So hopefully Fear gets back in the meantime. Thank you guys very much for watching. We got a couple hundred viewers. Shout out to you guys. Alright, so the game is going to go ahead and get started here. Might just see like a 5-man to somebody's jungle just to spot out lanes. Or everybody could just go right to where they are going to be laning. And yeah, this is going to be a defensive jungle Enchantress. And they are hoping, I guess, that the Broodmother would be down there. I went offline mode, Mikey. Sorry, buddy. I didn't think about it until like a couple casting. I was like, that's probably annoying for the viewers to always have that stuff popping up in the top left corner. So I learned and I started going offline mode.
Wait. You should look at the water going across the map.
Look at the what going across the map?
In the middle, it's going to the fountain.
Oh, the
Morphling's
Morphling? Yeah. I didn't spot it. Where'd it go? It's probably already gone. I saw that a while ago. How do you do that, by the way? I'd like never play Morphling.
I think you just click.
Isn't it like a stopcast or something like that?
I think it just clicks waveform right at his feet.
Oh, okay. So looking at the lanes, we're going to have Void mid
The battle begins.
with Ancient Apparition. Beastmaster is going to be soloing the long lane, and they're going to have the Leshrac and Broodmother top instead, unless Demon's going to be making his way top. And is also going to be taken up here by Last Hit Magic. Going to make it a little bit easier for him to make his way into the enemy jungle if he wants to do that, which honestly is pretty risky. There are 3 heroes from EG kind of around here right now. We can see Leshrac hasn't even skilled anything just yet. Maybe looking to pop that Edict if he finds Last Hit Magic. And we're going to have a dual lane taking on his solo Windrunner. And honestly, this is a pretty good decision from EG, obviously, to get the Void farm. But at the same time, I doubt without ganks they're really going to be able to do anything to a Windrunner, at least with this lane composition, until they start getting ganks of their own. So what do you think about the laning? Do you think this favors EG overall, or do you think that it's going to be free farm versus free farm and just more based on the middle game?
It's definitely got to be based more middle game. Like a few ganks is gonna come here and there from the Enchantress and Furion.
Right.
But I don't think it's gonna play that big of a part. But we're definitely looking at the mid game
with the AA ultis with BM to pick off like a hero here and there.
See, that just seems like it's going to be so powerful. I mean, especially because of the range of it, you can just get picked off from anywhere. It's kind of like the Furion factor, but worse in some cases, because they have so many abilities to just keep you there, so there's really no way you can avoid it. But we're going to have to see how it works out, and right now, Universe is pretty much not going to be getting anything done in this bottom lane. Not really too surprising. He can at least get experience. We can see there's another smoke up here by Quantic. They're going to go heading for that mid lane. Currently have a Wildkin and an Ursa Warrior here to try to set up a gank. They're going to have to take the long way, though. There are still 2 here from EG, obviously. And Fear's at about half HP. One Runner doing a really nice job of harassing him at the very least. But now that he has his poor man's... Or did he have it before? Did they pool him regen? Did you know?
They pulled him.
Okay.
They pulled him.
That would make more sense. And yep, they are still making their way around this mid lane. Looking to come up here. And the A is going to pick up a regeneration for the bottom rune. And they did see that, but they're not going to go on Fear. Probably not a terrible choice. It's going to be really hard to kill him, and there's the ping, so... The smoke did eventually wear off, and that gank is not going to be too successful. In the meantime, top lane's probably going to start taking some pressure here. Tides of Time does have Edict, and there are a crap load of Spiderlings going to be attacking this tower. And this is definitely what they want to go for. I mean, the faster they can get map control up at the top lane and go for their team, it's going to just snowball their mid game.
Structures are fortified.
And Korok is really low for some reason and has no regen. How the heck did that happen against a solo Beastmaster?
2 axes.
Did he, like, use his regen to get axed again while he had it on or something? Like, did he flask and then get hit?
I don't know. Possibly. I
That is
wasn't
really weird. I did not expect to look down here and see him at no HP. And meanwhile, this top lane's still taking quite a bit of damage. It's about 2/3 dead right now. Next couple of pushes will be able to finish that off pretty easily. Panicle doing what he can to farm in this middle lane. Well, we have a second. Let's go ahead and take a peek at the gold graph to see who's getting the better of the lane. Still kind of dead even, man. Like, experience and gold are within still 200 of each other. It's only the 4-minute mark, I know, but sometimes you can see a bit of a discrepancy even this early. But that is not going to be the case for this game, so both lanes working out pretty well for both sides. But as soon as we see that first tier tower die, then it's going to be
We got a
problematic.
gank coming mid, by the way.
And we are going to have a gank coming mid. There's a Leshrac stun. The cold feet goes off as well. Nice win run, though. And Tides of Time's not going to make contact on his stun, so Painted Gold's going to be able to get out of there. Really nice timing and a great runaway path. Unfortunate that Tides couldn't make contact with that Split Earth, or it would have for sure been a death. Not able to proc that double stun with the cold feet. Illusion going to be picked up here, too. Now Windrunner has her bottle, so she's going to be able to spam pretty efficiently here. And at the very least be able to get some gold, hopefully. And bottom lane, we have 4 from Quantic, so they want this tower. They know that Brood's going to get top tower pretty much. Nothing they can do about that, so they're just going to say, we're going to trade here. And this is probably the right call, honestly. Also, they use the hero with the most mobility to come down here to kill the tower, so it's just doubly effective. That way Furion can kind of go back somewhere else when he's needed. And that top tier tower does fall in the meantime. Tides of Time going to get the kill, probably with Edict. Now we're going to see some axes go off for harassment, but yep, this tower is dead too. So a tower for a tower. 5 minutes into the game, still 0-0, no kills as of yet. Painted Gold going to continue to farm that mid lane, trying to do what he can. Let's see Fierce Gold. Wow, he has 1,700 already. It's only 5 minutes in. Let's check the CS here. So he is 25-9. Brood is 28-6. They are the leaders of this game in CS. Well, tied for second, I guess. Korok right now has 26 as well. And they're just going to keep pushing, man. They still got 4 down here, and there is no reaction from EG. They're just going to send the Leshrac and the Brood down, who already dropped the tier 2 top as well, and they're just pushing the base. They're just pushing the base, man. Like, what is this game? It's 5 minutes into the game. Are they really not going to TP to defend this? This tower is already at half HP. If they get this tower already, that's actually going to be a pretty big problem, because Brood can come into the base unobstructed and just attack Arax for free. You do not want this tower going down. Okay, now we finally have TPs coming in. And Enchantress with Epherion are both going to be here to defend their base, but man, that was a really strange kind of engagement right there. Well, not really engagement, but more of an exchange. So what do you think, man? Like, what the heck?
I don't know. I could say it was good what they did there. They were trying to force TPs out, so it creates room down bottom.
Yeah, I mean, definitely a better move right there from Ichi. They did quite a bit of damage to that base tower. They do that like once more, and that thing's dead. Then you have a Rax exposed, so they pretty much have to dedicate a hero to that lane at all times now. They simply can't leave.
Yeah, but they don't really have a hero to dedicate.
We're going to see a stun on the Universe here. There's the wave 2 from Korok going in, trying to do as much damage as he can to Universe, but going to be forced out. Does not want a tower dive. No adaptive strike yet. He does have those 3 points into waveform and 3 points into his morph stats. And top lane 2, Brood's going to get caught in a Sprout and gets the kill. First blood on Fury, and with the Spiderlings in the meantime, he's going to go down too. So a huge base dive.
He was so close
with
to living.
Spiderlings. Oh my god, that's got to be frustrating. A nice Sprout though. A little bit surprised that there was no Tango on this Broodmother. He would have easily been able to get out of there. Did he use his web to chase? Is that what happened? Oh, we're going to have a Void on mid. There's the Chronosphere and the Kofi going off too. The Windrunner was popped, so we can't use it here. Follow-up stun by Leshrac, and Void will eventually pick up that kill. So going from no kills at all to 3 in the span of about 30 seconds, that's NEODotA pretty much in a nutshell. Now we're going to have Solara looking to try to farm this top lane, and I still don't really know. Like, looking at the gold, yeah, it's a little bit in favor of EG experience, a little bit in favor of EG, about 250 of each. It's just going to come down to execution. Ace is going to have his ult soon, too, which is going to be a pretty huge deal. They could start honestly spamming it on that top lane, I think, to just apply even more pressure with Broodmother always being here. Now we can see Korok kind of just sitting here bottom, walking back and forth, waiting for the lane to push out. He needs something to farm. And regular boots picked up on Windrunner, also level 7, so he's doing quite well for himself, considering he was against that dual lane. And we'll just check the CS again real fast. 35 for Painted Gold, 38 for Korok playing the Morphling, 24 for Last Day Magic and Enchantress, 23 for the Nature's Prophet. And then Fear has 42 on the Void, and Bulba, who is playing Broodmother, has 38. So kind of even on CS all around, it's just everything's kind of stagnant. Couple of kills, couple of towers, and apparently Brood's allowed to run into your base and attack a base tower at 5 minutes. That's really strange to see. And honestly, this is way more passive than I thought it would be. And we're going to have another TP on mid. Fury, I'm looking to push this middle lane. Going to go ahead and spawn those treants and apply pressure to the tower. See if we have any reaction from EG whatsoever. And where is the Brood? There he is. Okay, so Bulba going to be pushing out this top lane, going to town on these treants, which is honestly probably better for Quantic because they got that tower for free. I mean, there was absolutely no reaction, and Brood couldn't even pressure the top lane. Now he's basically just resorted to AFK farming, which isn't always bad, but typically you want Brood to be able to get something out of his AFK farming more than just getting items, you know? But do you think the nature of the game is going to change at all? Or do you think both teams are going to kind of just play passive? I would think that EG wants to be the aggressors here.
Quantic wants to pressure the Brood lane, but it's kind of hard right now because Brood can just hold it at a relatively good pace.
Right.
But the other towers are opened. So there'll be a point where you'll see towers drop from both sides, and then they'll eventually try to push the Brood lane
Yeah, but
to get rid of that tower.
This is honestly pretty interesting. The Void picked up a Midas too, so he's banking on the fact that at least for the next probably 15 to 20 minutes that they're not pretty much going to do anything, or maybe he's just that confident in his team's ability to run the mid game and they probably don't need him that much. I don't know, that's kind of the only thought process I can think of behind getting something like that this early. I mean, it is obviously a lot of money to get a Midas, but a little bit strange to see.
They will jump here for the Brood. They should jump here for the Brood to get the top racks if possible.
Yeah, we can see Bulba going for this rack right here. We can already see pings, and Quantic's just going to immediately fall back before they even have a chance to go in. Maybe a little bit of a missed opportunity right there. At the very least, they could have delayed it.
They should have just engaged. They had heroes to stop it and like possibly traded there, and it would have definitely benefited them.
Ooh, we're going to see an A ultimate. It's going to barely miss Korok, though. There's a spawn Spiderlings, and now Korok is going to be forced to get out of here. There's the waveform. If that A ultimate made contact, it would have been a for sure kill. Just barely missed, though. Nice attempt by Demon playing the AA. And now Fear's just farming away, man. Level 8. Got his might, his poor man's shield, and those treads. Already up to about 1,000 gold. It's only 11 minutes in, too, and now we're going to see a goat. Wow, that was a nice leap, too. He gets him during the wind run. Another perfect Chronosphere, although it's not really that hard to hit, I guess. And that's going to be a wind runner down for no cost whatsoever to his own team. So nice play by Fear, knowing that no one was there. No mana to leap out, though. Got slow there, took a couple of impetus auto attacks. And now Broodmother is here as well, trying to run away. And EG is going to be looking to pressure this tower. Furion is not here yet. EG, Fear going to go ahead and port out. And now EG eventually does fall back, so they won't get this tower.
Invisibility.
And honestly, that was a bit strange. I mean, knowing that you didn't have a team there, and the Windrunner was that far up against a hero like Void, you kind of have to expect that sort of thing, right?
Yeah, well, AJ just wants to have these small skirmishes. They don't want big skirmishes right now. They would just like to pick up a hero here and there, and it will slowly just gain into their favor.
Yeah, I mean, they're banking for the late game right now, at least with the Void having that Midas, and now he looks like he wants to be stop farming this bottom lane. Should be pretty beneficial to him. We can see Demon making some attack paths on the mini-map, wants to go in on top lane. We got Korok and Panic Gold up here. Oh, wow, Last Magic's going to get caught in the river, though. Eats the Beastmaster Roar and the A ultimate. Now a TP coming in from Furion, and there's a nice net from the Creep and a Sprout right after that. There's another Cold Feet. Solara going to go ahead and spawn those streams to try to block him. Doesn't fully block him, though. Still using the net Creep to keep him in place, and another stun coming out from VS. There's the high ground stun from Leshrac, doing quite a bit of damage to Mikey, but he's going to be able to live and get out of there. So overall, a 1-for-1 trade. Losing the Enchantress for the Beastmaster, I think they're going to be pretty okay with that. And now Quantic looking to pressure this first tier tower top. Currently 3 heroes here right now. Waiting for the 4th. VS making her way up here along with that Enchantress who did die in the river fight. And Broodmother's here in the back too. We're seeing some TP reaction out of EG. It looks like they want to defend this.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, they're gonna wait for the faces to TP and last for this. They're definitely looking to defend this.
Tower's taking quite a bit of damage. Here comes Void. Can he get a decent sphere off? He's attacking some treants. There he goes finally, and he manages to clip 2. And now there's going to be an A ultimate coming out immediately after that, and VS dies pretty much straight away. Nice follow-up stun out of that Chronosphere onto Panic Gold. He's going to be able to TP out of here, though. He's still taking a little bit of damage. He's not going to go down from the urn, though, and in the meantime, we see that Demon did go down to Morphling. EG Universe going to be chasing right here. He's going to be forced back out, although he does have Roar. Might be able to go on Korok. Maybe too scared, though. Even though it's pretty much a 4-on-1. Korok does have his replica out somewhere, I'm sure. The Hawk's still going to spot him out here. He's going to be forced out eventually. And he's just going to go ahead and TP out, so no Roar at all. And he's going to be just fine, so. Definitely a better exchange, I think, for EG right there. Even though they didn't defend the tower, did they get the deny?
Not really. I think that's more in favor of Quantic because now the top lane pressure can be easily solved now because you only have to push like halfway wherever the Brood is pushing, and then you can gank another lane or do something in the other 2 lanes if possible.
Okay, alright, very well said. That's why I have you here, man, because sometimes I don't think about that stuff while I'm just looking and yelling at the monitor. So it's good to have you here. Now we're going to see 2 people rotating from EG bottom lane, maybe looking to try to apply some pressure to Korok. Demon's going to come down here, throw off the Cold Feet. He's also got his
top tower's
mana
gonna
finish.
go down by the looks of it. No one's reacting to this, which is
Yeah, there's
really
an army
bad.
of Broodlings. Here comes VS, though, but what can she really do? I mean, honestly, he could just put all his Spiderlings on Mikey, and there's no tower here anymore. He'd just be forced out. Now we're going to see a TP from Furion, too. So they are really looking to defend this Rax, but this is kind of what I was talking about. It's just, you lose the base tower, and now Brood is going to be so much harder to deal with in this lane. I mean, at the very least, you might have to even Sentry this, just to keep it safe. And Maelstrom also picked up on Fear, so that's a bit of an interesting choice. Going for that mass attack speed build, wants to proc those lightnings. And not too much going on right now, so let's go ahead and take a look at the gold. Quantic leads here, but not by any sizable margin, really. It's still under 1,000 at about the 16-minute mark, and the experience, about 750 in favor of EG, so no real lead except for the fact that that top lane is looking pretty shabby. Rax is already exposed by this Brood, and speaking of, Brood almost has his Orchid up. It's only 16 minutes in. Actually, I think the recipe's on the chicken right now going to him. Yep, it is indeed. So he has a finish here, likely going to be making a BKB next. Pretty standard Brood build. For the Leshrac, he's got his Bracer up and Boots. He's level 6. Demon is level 8 right now. Wow, he's really high level actually for a support at this point in the game. He's got his Headdress of Rejuvenation, and he has Mana Boots up with the level 1 ulti. And now EG looking like they want to pressure this bottom lane. 4 heroes down here right now, including the Void.
Structures are fortified.
And Broodmother's still going to be pushing top lane. That was a super early glyph too. Now EG wants to go ahead and back out of here. They're going to use the Hawk to scout out. They're going to see last hit magic. No one really in range to help him. Sends in the Minotaur to go ahead and scare off EG right here. And we might
They
see
should force the issue. I think EG is gonna force the issue here because
the
the
Brood's still
brood pressure
top,
up. Yeah, the brood pressure's up top. So if they see 1 or 2 heroes up top, they're instantly gonna engage at when they see the heroes.
Well, the nice thing is, even though it is a 3v4, they could still technically have Fury on TP bottom and be relatively safe to the Brood, but this tower is just going to die. Trying to send in the Minotaur to deny it. Nice attempt by last hit magic, but it's not going to work, unfortunately. And that's a free tower for EG. They're just going to go ahead and fall back, and this is kind of the Brood factor, man. I really think that last pick is working out for them quite well.
Like I said, they don't have anything to really stop it.
Double damage.
There's no big AoE to keep on controlling the lane. Yeah, Morphling can hold the lane, but they can, if they notice it a lot, they can just do the BM AA combo. And Silent Stick is coming up as well for, he's already got it on
Yeah, the
Bulba,
Brood had it a
so
while ago.
yeah.
But I'm just really kind of confused as to how this is going to work out, because if that Brood gets a BKB, then he can honestly just suicide the Rax at some point. I mean, what are they going to do? If he gets the melee Rax and dies for it, then that's totally worth it. But I'm not really sure what he's going to try to do. We see an A ultimate coming up top, though. There's the Orchid. Now Korok going to get clipped by that Ice Blast. Going to have to get back here. Not taking really too much damage, though. Oh, we're going to see another Chronosphere on to Pain at Gold, and he is not long for this world. Eating the axes right there. A few auto attacks from Fear will go ahead and seal the deal. So that
They're gonna
is
get Rosh for
another
this.
kill, yep, and they're going to be going for Roshan too. There are wards, so it's not like Quantic doesn't know, but I don't really think they can do anything about it. I mean, they did use Chronosphere right there to ensure the kill on Windrunner, but it would be very risky to engage into this, especially considering, like you said, man, this Brood is still here. Still just sitting top, and Korok's kind of just cutting the creep wave and making sure that there's not too much pressure being applied here, but yeah, this is going to be a completely free Rosh. And who picked up the medallion? Okay, Beastmaster has the medallion. Universe's farm is actually pretty darn good considering he was in the solo long lane. He's got his Earn Up medallion and Mana Boots too. And another 1,300 gold. Probably going to be making something like a tank item, like a pipe, or maybe even a mech. But never mind. Ancient Apparition has the headdress, so he's going to be making the mech there. And top lane, Brood just continues to
Actually,
farm away.
He's working on a slow pipe. The Leshrac is getting the mech.
Oh, okay, wow. So Leshrac is going to be getting the mech. That's actually a little bit strange, isn't it? Typically you don't have Leshrac get the mech. Because he
It
needs his
doesn't.
mana.
They just want to have both of those items.
We're going to have more
I
harassment
guess.
going on the Korok here. Ooh, A ultimate's going to hit this time, but he mantas. Goes ahead and removes that debuff, and now Bulba going to be forced back. But looking at the positioning of Quantic right now, it's like they're kind of huddled together reacting to whatever EG does, and that's not really a favorable position to be in. You kind of want to be able, at some point, push the pace for yourself, and I don't really feel like they're able to do that.
Yeah, they're definitely in a tough spot, but they're reacting well, better than before with against the Brood now.
Ability.
And speaking of Brood, he is kind of in a dangerous spot here. No dust or anything, though, from Quantic, so they can't really spot him out. He's just kind of scuttling around. Can see some pings going off too, and he's getting attacked down by those spiderlings. Being really annoying. Oh, he does have dust, so he just went and popped it right there, but Bulba a little bit too fast. Did I just really not see that dust? Wow, that was bad. And they still look like they want to try to engage in this. I mean, Beastmaster's making his way up here. Solara needs to be careful, man. He does not have dust this time. 40 seconds on cooldown. Here comes Universe with the roar, and the A ultimate going to come up too. Probably clip him. Doesn't. Oh, it does steal the kill. There we go. EG Demon shout out. Kill stealing across the map.
He gets EXP for that too when you get the kill.
Yeah, he's level 10 now, man. He's going to be level 11 soon. Level 2 ultimate going up against Windrunner, who only has 1,000 HP, Enchantress at about the same, and VS, who's looking pretty hurt right now too at 758. So one Ice Blast and a nuke, and that's pretty much a dead Venge. And that's just the kind of risky run when you go and get this team. Wow, another solo Chronosphere on this Windrunner, man. That's got to be so frustrating. He's going to get cold feeded too, and doesn't get frozen. He's going to get out of there, man. He didn't even have his force staff up for that, did he? It looks like it was on cooldown for that. The A ultimate not going to make contact, so he's going to live through that. Wow.
He used it when the Faceless jumped him, but then got caught in it.
I did not think he was going to live there. Also, BKB finished on Fear 2, so his farm is absolutely insane right now. He has a BKB, Midas, Maelstrom, Treads, Poor Man's Shield, Aegis. I mean, Aegis doesn't really cost any money, but still, like, his inventory's full, and it's 23 minutes into the game. What the heck? He's got 142 CS, 2-1, along with most of the outer tier towers from Quantic for that extra gold. And as the game goes later on, I don't even think a Morphling is going to be able to do anything about a super fed Void. He's going to need help from his team for sure, and they don't have great initiation either. I mean, Void initiation is pretty difficult to deal with in itself.
Well, if the Faceless comes into a situation where he wants to ulti the Morphling, VS can just swap him out, and all it comes down to from there is just one good shackle. If they get a lucky shackle on like the Faceless and Brood in that period of that Faceless ulti, Morphling can do a lot of damage. So AA ulti is not going to come into play this game for the Morphling because he has Manta. He's just going to save it every time.
Yep, definitely a smart call. Saw that utilized already top 2, and Korok's going to run right into Beastmaster here. Does get roared. There's the AA ultimate and the medallion as well. Korok has replicated that, though. He's going to be able to go back to that. Definitely nice positioning. And now we're going to see a TP out from Demon. He gets sprouted in place, but it's not going to stop that TP. And now here comes Fear. The Chronosphere only hits one, though, but Solara is going to pay with his life for coming in to try to kill Fear's support player, Demon. That was a little bit of an overextension by the Furion. And BKB pop, too, just to be safe. No real reason not to use it, I guess. And now it's 3-8. I mean, how often do you see that low of a kill score in a game that's been 24 minutes long?
Well, what EG is doing is smart and safe. They're gonna win it in the long run. Like what they're doing now is just farming safe, let the Brood apply pressure, make the other team make the decision. So when you react, it's a lot easier to predict the movement on what they do.
Right.
Just considering what the Brood's doing for them.
Yeah, and we can finally see the experience starting to get a little out of hand here. Getting close to 7,500 in favor of EG, and also the gold over about 3,000. And at 25 minutes, that's not huge, but it's something. And with both teams kind of playing passively here, like he said, EG's just kind of getting the better of it. And Brood's also in this top lane, still has the Demon Edge picked up. Looking to probably make an MKB. That would be a nice addition to his damage dealing capability, partnered with his ultimate. And I want to know if Fear is going to finish that Mjolnir. I'm not sure if he is or not. I think he has the courier. Okay, he is going to finish it. He's got the recipe on there, just waiting for the extra 200 gold to get his Hyperstone. And they're going to be looking for this tier 2. Oh, wow, and I guess Brood just got picked off top. I just saw it at the last second. Getting picked off by Quantic, so this is going to be free pressure. 2 towers going to fall here, 1 for Quantic and 1 for EG. Both tier 2s. Glyph is going to be popped here. Tower for Quantic going to go ahead and drop first, but only a couple of seconds in advance. Glyph keeping it alive. a little bit longer, and everyone has a TP from Quantic, so they will be able to get back to the base when they finally do need to defend. And honestly, they look like they're just going to go for it, which is a little bit strange because this bottom tier tower is already dead, and they're going to lose a Rax here. I don't know if this is a good decision at all, honestly, because Fear is going to go ahead and TP back now, and they are going to lose their tower, but Rax exposed at half HP. Melee Rax taking a lot of damage, and now the Roar onto Windrunner right here. Universe using it to get away. Last Hit Magic trying to get in range. He gets the enchant off, actually, but it wears off. Missed stun there by Leshrac, and now he's going to have to get the heck out of here. Force Staff up in 5 seconds. They might be going for it. Is Universe far enough away? Oh, he power shots and doesn't shackle. Oh, man, that was a big mistake, but Tides of Time going to get caught by the enchant. Here comes a TP in for Fury on a stun onto Mikey, but it's not going to matter in the least. And Last Hit Magic is going to pick up the kill on that Leshrac. Now we can see more pings going off. Panicle's not done here yet, man. He wants a kill. He's going to find Demon. There we go. Cold Feet used on him. He's going to get out of range. Nice shackle attempt, but it doesn't latch somehow. That actually looked like it should have to me. That was pretty close to the trees.
Yeah, I think the angle's slightly off to latch on that big tree.
Gonna see an A ultimate go off and clip with the Chronosphere combination going right onto Windrunner. Didn't actually get hit by the debuff from AA though, so he's not gonna die here. Solara was the only one who got hit by that. Now he's gonna go ahead and TP out. Fear in a little bit of trouble. Gonna use that BKB. He can turn around on this, honestly. He's not really scared of just a VS and an Enchantress. He's just running at him. Man mode right now. Korok coming in here from the back though, eventually gonna scare him off. And that Mjolnir is finished on Faceless Void too. He is level 16, so his ult is going to be lasting for 5 seconds. That is a ridiculous amount of time to be frozen. Gonna see double smoke up too, so smoke up from EG and smoke up from Quantic. Vlad's also picked up on this Beastmaster to support the Void, no doubt about that. And the
Void and Brood.
and the Brood too, yep. Nice waveform right there, picking off the bird.
Double damage.
And Fear just doesn't care, man. He's got an Aegis. He wants to use it. I think they're just going to go ahead and Zerg down bottom racks. They're going to smoke in here. And VS is going to get a kill on Brood again at top lane. Smoke used right there, too, with the TP gank. But, I mean, what are they really going to do? 25 seconds on this Chronosphere. I mean, he has his BKB up, too. If he wants to, he can wait for the creeps, just go in, pop the BKB ultimate afterwards if he needs to, and just attack the racks down.
I don't think they're gonna get a Rex here, to be honest.
You don't think they might just try to make use of the Aegis? You think they're just going to back up?
Yeah, they're just gonna back up. They're not in a favorable position for this. I think they're relying on the Brood pressure too much now. But what they're not catching on is that Brood got ganked twice now. So they could definitely protect him and get a gank that way, like counter gank back. Like they do have the heroes to fight. It's just that Brood is just vulnerable right now because he didn't go BKB. He's gone for MKB. Oh no, he's choosing to go BKB now after that pickoff.
Yeah, it's like, I've had enough of this. I'm making a BKB. But you're definitely right. That is the right call to make. And speaking of items, we also have Morphling finishing his Scotty. So no Ethereal Blade this game. He just wants to be super tanky. And I think that's honestly the right choice against a hero like Void with the BKB. If you don't die immediately and get sphered, then you can kind of auto-attack him and just keep kiting him around. But it's going to be pretty hard, man. With the kind of team that EG has, kiting a Void's going to be really, really difficult. But we will see how it works out in the later parts of the game.
His game's definitely gonna come down to the wire.
Yeah, I still think
By the
it's
look-
whoever's going to execute like the next 1 or 2 team fights is going to just walk away with a win, like straight up. Because when you have heroes that are really farmed like Void and Morphling too, they just kill lanes so fast. So the first team that starts to play aggressive and maybe forces a fight on the opposite side of the river and gets a favorable position like that, I think that's going to be the team who wins. We can kind of see everyone grouping up around the Rosh pit. He finally did respawn. And Crit
They're waiting
also
for
going to
the-
be picked up on Fear too, so he is going the all damage build. He's got massive attack speed with it. Mjolnir, Treads, and the Midas obviously gives attack speed too. Treant's doing some scouting out of the Rosh pit. Just want to make sure that nobody's going to be attempting it. And honestly, I don't think Brood has left this lane, has he? I think he's been here the whole game. I mean, you're not really supposed to necessarily as Brood, but it's just kind of funny. 31 minutes of sitting in one lane. And this Void is looking pretty beefy right now. 221 CS. Wow, Korok has 277. He actually has more CS than the Void. That is definitely impressive. He's got 1,600 gold now, too. About 1,700 after that catapult. EG looking like they might be thinking about pressuring a little bit. Just kind of sitting behind their Void right here, making sure he doesn't get picked off. Getting the lanes pushed a bit into their favor. Enabling them to go and try to get this Rosh, but there is a ward right here from Quantic, so I'm assuming they will spot him going into this, especially since Demon just ran up the hill. Yeah, now they definitely know. And that Ursa is going to go down. Wow, kills the Invis. That was a bad mana Ursa right there.
Well, what AJ is waiting for is just the Brood pressure, get 1 or 2 heroes to defend that lane, and then go Rosh.
Yeah, but look at this really nice use of the replicate by Korok. He's just going to go top, clear out the wave,
Clear it out.
and then replicate back if he needs to. I mean, this is honestly really good play from both teams. The only problem is that's going to wear off soon. I mean, it's only got probably, what, 10, 15 seconds left on it? And then he has to
He
get
only
back.
needs to push. He only needs to push it halfway.
Oh, wow, Fear's going to go ahead and blink in from the high ground. They're going for it, man. Medallion use their auto attack, and it looks like Quantic wants to engage from the high ground. There are 2 Minotaurs here as well. Not everyone's here, though. Furion is going to have to TP in, but this thing is dying so fast. Are they going to be able to get in time? And Void does pick up the Aegis right before he dies. Universe is really low as well. There's the BKBs going straight on the Korok, doing quite a bit of damage. Sprout also going off outside the Chronosphere. There's the A ultimate. Not going to clip Korok. He gets Beastmaster Roar, though. Trying to convert stats, but he's not going to make it out. Void does get that kill. Now Fear is going to town on Solara. In the meantime, it looks like Vengeful Spirit did pick up the kill on Demon. And that is going to be a dead Furion as well. Mikey trying to TP out here. He gets the Orchid used on him, but he's going to make it away. The Orchid debuff not going to be enough to kill him on the well, and now Fear's going to go for Enchantress too. There's the blink in, and now Universe is going to escape with basically no HP. Only 2 dying right there, Leshrac and AA, getting the Roshan, not even losing the Aegis, and that's going to be almost a Daedalus for this Faceless Void, man. That's going to be really scary.
Well, what I think AJ's, after considering that fight went that well for them, I think they're just going to push us 5 with this Aegis now.
Yeah, I mean, that
They're
Void
gonna-
is going to do so much damage.
But what Brood should do in this situation is like make 10 or, you know, about 10 Broodlings and just let it solo push the lane while he pushes with the team. Or they can just push with the Brood. But it's more effective if you just send Broodlings, because you know that lane will always be pushed with Broodlings.
Right. Also, Heck's going to be picked up by this Nature's Prophet, so that's something that they have going in their favor. If they can, honestly, even if they kill Fear once, it's still going to be really rough for them to win a team fight. I mean, he is so farmed right now. They have to kill him 2 times. Korok got killed right there, and honestly, that Chronosphere was as good as it needed to be, just because they got the one hero who's the biggest threat, and Korok was forced to play defensive after that and try to get out, but he still didn't even make it. So that was an awesome fight for EG all around.
I would like to see him pick up like a Satanic. It's considering their lineup that they have. He can life leech quite a bit off this.
Yeah, he did finish his Daedalus too, so if he wants to next, he can go for lifesteal.
No, I was saying
Or you
the
mean
Korok.
Korok, yeah.
Yeah, Morphling.
I can't believe it's only 8-11, man. 8-11 in a 35-minute game. That is definitely very, very strange. EG's still getting the best of this, though.
Korok should be faster here. But I think they'd want to go for the trade. He definitely can keep on pressuring this lane.
It doesn't look like he wants to. They're going to go ahead and back up. The entirety of EG is forming up top, looking like they want to apply some pressure here. Korak going to be farming the Ancients instead, and I think you're right. I think he probably could have gone for it. I mean, maybe he just didn't think that all of EG was there. But now he's just going to be forced to get back. Oh, they're going to use Fury on instead. Oh, never mind. He's going to cancel his TP. Or he's going to smoke up and TP into the river. Okay, now I'm really confused.
It's too late now. They need to go back.
Yeah, they can't really base race this now. I mean, look at this giant creep wave going for the melee racks. Fear's just attacking the range racks. He doesn't even care. He's like, you know what? I want stronger range creeps in this lane. Doesn't even matter to me. I think EG's is pretty comfortable with their odds right now. Fear does have his ultimate too. Gonna back out just a little bit right there. And the range Rax dies first, and we see another Chronosphere going off. Does barely manage to hit Korok, and there was a really nice swap though by Mikey, saving his carry. And now Mikey's going to go ahead and pay with his life. The BKB is finally off from Fear. Adaptive Strike is used, but they just can't do enough damage, man. There's the Beastmaster Roar onto Korok, and now Fear is out of that Hex, throwing off as many auto attacks as he possibly can. Demon is going to drop in the back to those Impetus, and now we're going to see a Orchid used on last hit. Magic, and Fear is still chasing, has that Mjolnir buff applied to himself, but those top racks are going to die pretty much uncontested. I mean, they lost just a support, and that's it. They're going to be forced, though, to TP top. There are still people attacking his top racks, and now Sorrow looks like he's in a bit of trouble. There's a big crit. Fear still following here. Looking to see if he can get a kill. Ooh, he sprouts himself in with Fear. That is not what you wanted to do at all. And that is going to be a free kill for him. Monster kill for Fear, and bottom lane also being simultaneously pressured. Range Rax, once again, looks like it's going to drop first, but melee not too long to follow right there. And another nice stun. Split Earth onto Panda Gold. He's going to force staff out, though. Not going to be enough to take him down, and Enchantress gets the kill on Beastmaster instead. Those Impetuses doing quite a bit, and I think I just said Impetuses. That is definitely not what you say. But he is eventually going to be chased out of here. Wow, that was really strange. I mean, they didn't even apply... I mean, I guess they got the melee racks, but losing 2 for 1? Definitely not favorable for Quantic here. So what do you think? Do you think Quantic can do anything to get back in this game, or do you feel like it's kind of, after that, just over?
It's still rough. Like, they do have a shot. But I think it's gonna come out to just getting a really big item. Go for Divine or something on Korok, and just go all out. Try to drag out the game for like 10 minutes or something, and just go for it, I guess.
Yeah, but now wouldn't Brood be even more effective at this point, just because of the fact that not only do you have lanes pressuring, but
no,
they can sit
not
in one
really.
spot?
No, not really. Brood has to attend fights now. He can't. There's only one lane left. Like, what he can do to become really annoying is not actually pressure the lane with the hero himself, but just with the Broodlings.
Right.
So the lane's always consistently pushed.
Yeah, well, the top and bottom lane are going to consistently push regardless, but definitely agree with what you just said right there. Eagle's Song also going to be picked up by Fear, so working his way towards a Butterfly. And that means that he's pretty much going to be unkillable. I mean, with the BKB and a Butterfly against the team that Quantic has, what are they going to do to him? I mean, Korok obviously doesn't have an MKB. He went for a Scotty. He's got his Manta, which aren't bad item choices by any means, but Fear itemizing himself quite well this game, doing a crap load of damage, too. Gonna see some birds scouting out of Quantic right here. And Korok's continuing to push top with the help of Furion. That replicate's going to be used, though, finally making his way back to mid. And now this final outer tier tower is being pressured by EG. Shackle attempt by Woodrunner, not going to make contact with anything, unfortunately. And now Quantic's kind of moving out, still getting scouted a bit by the bird power shots going off, try to clear out the creep wave. We see some pings, and Furion's just kind of chilling up here. Just, you know, just watching, hanging out with his buddies, the trees.
They're waiting for an opportunity to fight in mid, but I don't think EG's gonna let that happen. They're just gonna wait for the opportunity to get the mid tower like really slow and smart.
Yeah, I mean, no reason to risk anything. You already got 2 racks down. Don't want to give a team like Quantic the opportunity to get back into a game. There's a nice Hex, though. This Fear has the Aegis. He's going to come out of this and probably go right back in and do a Chronosphere. He BKBs anyway, even though it's quite low on life. Mikey's going to get another swap onto Solara. He once again just commits suicide to save one of his teammates, but he is going to go down anyway. And now we have Painicle and Solara on the run from a pretty much no health Fear at this point, although he does still have that Aegis. Second tier mid tower will eventually go down. So Enchantress and BS both dying for just a AA, and AA actually buys himself back into the game, so he is not going to be gone for long. And Brood wasn't even there, man. He's just sitting top. Gonna go ahead and send all those Broodlings to the mid tower. Power shot going off, doing what little damage that it can do. Simply not going to be enough, though. Edict is popped. There's another Shackle attempt to Hex onto Fear as well. And Tides of Time taking a lot of damage from Morphling. Gets the adapted strike and one more auto attack. We'll go ahead and finish him off. And wow, I think that was a crit. And Solara just disintegrated from the auto attack damage of Fear at this point. They're just going to go for the racks, though. No reason to really procrastinate. This will be mega creeps once the range racks does fall. And now Windrunner trying to make her way out of here. Korok taking quite a bit of damage himself, forced to wave out. Universe trying to give some chase right here. Also saw the time walk in. And VS just kind of falls. Mikey giving out the good game. And there's the final disconnect. So that's going to be it, guys. EG takes out Quantic. This is a best of one, so it's going to be the only match of the day, unfortunately. Some reschedules and teams disbanding. So EG is only going to be playing one match, I believe. And, yeah, that's all she wrote for this game, man. You got any last thoughts before we sign off here?
Not really. Just AG just played it really well with the lineup they had. They were really patient about it. Unfortunately, they couldn't react. I think the Brood pick just hurt Quantic too much. That's about it.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting that Brood made it this far into the picking phase, you know, because a lot of time you'll see the hero Banner picked on a bit earlier, but this game going to be seen as a last pick and very, very powerful in that regard. So once again, that's the game, guys. I want to thank Snoopy again for joining me. My name is Draskyl. If you guys are interested in following me on Twitter, you can do that at Draskyl. It'd be greatly appreciated. Or follow me here on the NEODotA Twitch channel. We will be streaming all the Prodota2 coverage for the American bracket here myself, with or without Snoopy, depending on if he is available for that day. I know he plays for professional teams, so likely to be scrimming. But I want to thank all you guys, too, for watching. You guys are awesome. Got over 400 viewers today, which is quite a bit more than the last cast. So thank you very much. I don't know if Demon plugged my stream, but I think he might have because he asked for the stream name, so shout out to him as well. And we are done for the day. Once again, EG taking out Quantic. Just going to go ahead and wait for the throne to die to give the team the satisfaction who won to go ahead and see the score screen. See what kind of ridiculous farm Fear had this game. What do you think, man?
What can I say? I have really nothing to say, man.
It's okay.
To be honest.
It's okay. So, yeah, 614 GPM Void. Going to go ahead and seal the deal for EG. And we are out of here, guys. So thank you once again for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.
There goes the burrow into the FE, and that is a huge hit.